Intellectual property games, or IP games, are board games that have an outside license put on them, like Marvel or Star Wars, or something to kind of sell the game. It is there, and normally the publishers have to pay a third party to use these characters with the intent to boost sales, because it has Marvel on it or has Star Wars on it, and thematically, hopefully, it'll bring the gamers in to play it more. These are usually my favorite type of games. I love movies and books and video games, all kinds of different stuff, and I like to see them in my favorite type of experience, which is board games. So I really enjoy that mix and mash. Now, a lot of times I get my kids to play a game, maybe they won't want to play a board game, but if it has one of their favorite IPs on it, they'll definitely sit down and try it out with me. And I enjoy going to the store and finding those games out for the kids and getting to play those as a family. And they've just been big hits around us here in our family, and hopefully for yours too. So today I want to look at the top 10 intellectual property games delivered in 2024. I do have a few honorable mentions I'd like to start with. A little caveat here is I can only talk about games that I've played. If I haven't played it, it might be the greatest intellectual property game. I just haven't played it. Please comment below. Let me know if there's something I've missed or a blind spot in the game, or maybe I haven't got it to yet. I really like those games. And sometimes they're really obscure. I can go out places and find Property Brothers board game, or just something off the wall when I travel or whatever, and I'll find, I'm like, hey, let me try that out. I've never even heard of that. It's not even listed on BGG. I've added quite a few IP games to BGG. A few IP games I'd like to mention as honorable mentions. Dead Cells, I haven't played it yet, so that's a big blind spot for me. Lord of the Rings adventure game is really, really good. I felt like it was very close to another game on this list, so I went with that game instead. Star Wars, the Clone Wars, a deck building game. It's a really, really great game. I like it quite a bit, but I felt like it was just another version. It was released in a different year, and I wanted to highlight some games that were released just this year. Also, my kids really like Goosebumps, the game. There was another version of Goosebumps that came out this year. Of course, we had to gobble it up and play it, but it just didn't have enough to make this list. Although if my kids made this list, it would probably be on it. Those are a few honorable mentions. If there's some other things that you guys have seen played or have enjoyed, please let me know. I'd really like to track some of those down and get them on the board gaming table. But for now, let's jump into our top 10. Now, when I go through this top 10, this is going to be our enjoyment of it. How much fun did we have with the game? I'll talk a little bit about how thematic it is and maybe some of the mechanics that are in the game. But as we get higher up on the list, we just enjoyed the game more, either as a family or me individually. So I'll be posting through that, and that'll kind of be what delineates them. I didn't want to say this is the most thematic game at number one, and it was being perhaps the worst game. So here's our list. Number 10 is Chucky. Now, this is a weird game because Chucky is one of those intellectual properties that was really big back in the day, and you didn't hear about it for a long time, but it's always kind of stayed there. The Bride of Chucky, the Jennifer Tilly years, and when I go to Halloween Horror Nights, it seems like there's a lot of Chucky there. So it's been a property that's kind of stayed in the focus of horror fans. And this one, you're bidding for locations. A little weird, but it does have some story mode in it, and it kind of drags you back into it. It wasn't exactly what I thought a Chucky game would be. I thought maybe one person would be Chucky and running around. I think hidden movement works really well with horror themes, and I don't want the horror-themed games to lean on that too heavy, so it was nice to see something different come out. This has all the Chucky artwork. It's really cute. It's scary if he scares you. But this will be one that I think that you might want to check out, especially if you're a big Chucky fan. Number 9, and I almost put this on number 10, is Army of the Dead Zombicide. So I'm a big Zombicide fan. I have most, if not all, of the Zombicide different things that have come out. But I do like these little ones like Night of the Living Dead, where it comes out and you just have this little story, in this case, Army of the Dead. So bizarre that this game was released so far after the movie dropped on HBO. I feel like that timing should have been better, but they missed it by a long shot. The movie, I think, was supposed to be a little bit more popular than it was, but it was just an HBO, something that was dropped on HBO Max, I believe. So I don't know how big they expected it to be, or how big it was, in fact. But the board game this just shakes up Zombicide a little bit. You have a few new things going on, and of course you have the characters from the movies, etc., and that plays out really well. But this is a little bit harder. Some of the other Zombicides I find a little bit easier, and I like that kind of go through. This one takes a lot of teamwork and can be a more difficult Zombicide. If you haven't played Zombicide in a while and you don't want the tens and thousands of boxes that come with a set, you want something that's kind of enclosed, and you like this movie or you like the idea of the movie, then this will be really fun as you're going through the bank heist and kind of going through it. One I can recommend, and one we've had a blast with. I really like this one quite a bit. And I like these little closed box ones like Night of the Living Dead, and this one with the IP attached definitely will stay in my collection. saw Jigsaw Trials was a Kickstarter that I saw, and I thought, wow, this is pretty neat. I'll take a chance on this. I like the IP, but I was not expecting very much of this game. I think if you keep your expectations low, this game will be more fun. Now, this is more of like a party game, although it can last a little bit long, and I would recommend playing with the extreme rules if you're going to play this game. But each player is just setting traps, like in the movie, we're all kind of Jigsaw-ish, I guess, and you're setting up traps and you're wanting to hurt the other players. So you're directly attacking them, but you have to do hard management to make your traps that you will. What's unique about this and kind of fun is that when you trap somebody, you're going to hurt like their leg, and you'll flip their leg over, and it shows like a damage side. And this was directly taken from a game called Grindhouse, which wasn't particularly a great game, but had this kind of mechanism in it. So you'll see your leg get injured and injured again, and then it'll be completely cut off. And as you're going through and you're doing this, it does have player elimination. It does have where you're directly attacking. I don't want to say take that, but I guess you are, where you're directly attacking the other players and trying to eliminate them from the game. And that's going to be kind of a downer in the game, but some people aren't going to like that. But the game itself, I mean, it's very thematic. The artwork fits right in, and it has that IP attached to it. I think if you like the Jigsaw games and you're looking for like kind of like maybe a horror-themed or Halloween-themed party game where you're attacking other people and people, you just gotta kind of go with it and just laugh with it, this will be that game for you. It's not something I can bring out a whole lot. I think, it's a little bit more gory than some of the other games on this list, so more adult oriented for this one. But Jigsaw, this one, the Saw game, it lives up to what you expect from a Saw board game, so it does nail that pretty good. Next on the list is Star Wars Unlimited. Now, I am definitely not a trading card game player, and I definitely am not in this world at all, so take me as the most novice of novices. But I have a good friend who really enjoys this game, and I was like, you know what, you enjoy this so much, just teach it me. Let's have a night where we just play this game. I want you to enjoy what you're doing, and just kind of teach me through it. And he had a really great time with that. So I was able to learn the game and how to play it, and I was kind of impressed with it. I can see why people will want to play this game and kind of decisions that you're making inside of it, and it has Star Wars blasted all over it. Now, I'm not one to jump into these kind of games and run out and get the cards, etc. I just don't have that kind of personality where I can even attempt to go down that road because I'll go too far. So I just kind of banned myself from it. But if you're able to play this or play this on a simpler level, I think that this is a really good little Star Wars game as you're going through. Not the most thematic of things, of how things are playing out. And, you can have good with bad, etc. And that kind of how that plays into it. But a very fun experience, and one that I think is blowing up right now. A lot of competitions, etc. are going on. So it's one I can easily recommend if you want to go down that path. Number 6 is the Mandalorian Adventures. Now, this is a really cool, book game where you turn in the pages instead of having this big sprawling map, and I like those quite a bit. You're going to have these little self-contained missions you're going to go on, but the game is very much attached to the first season of Mandalorian. Once again, I think they're in 3 or 4. There's been some spin-offs that have been going on with that. So it's weird that they're going back to the first, but I think the first is where most people are going to start, and most people kind of fell in love with the show that did. I think the first season is a great season to go back to. And the book series, kind of as you play through these maps, goes right with it. It's very thematic as you're going on, and you get to go on these adventures, and I don't want to spoil any of it, but you're going to go on these adventures with the main characters in the show, and you're going to be able to kind of progress through that. So it's kind of linear in that aspect, but you can make decisions on the tactical nature of the game. And these are really, really fun. I think the self-containedness of it, you don't have the Kickstarter bloat, you have the little maps that you're on. I think all of that works very, very well. And if you're a fan of The Mandalorian, you're really going to want to play through this. I think this might be the Mandalorian game that's ever been released, and it's really fun to play. You build up to it. It has replayability in the maps, etc. So this one has been a huge win for us. And you can see the quality of the games going up a little bit as we enjoy them more and more. And the Mandalorian Adventures, if you like Star Wars, if you like the Mandalorian at all, this is one that you need to seek out. It's very, very good. Number 5 is Escape from New York. This is a big, sprawling Kickstarter, plenty of extra stuff, and one I was really happy to get my hands on when I saw it on Kickstarter. And it comes from a really, really well-known and well-respected game designer, so you expected a very solid game. Well, so what you're going to get is a lot. You're going to get bloat. You're going to get everything that you want from this series. But this is a pure mare trash. This is going to be rolling dice, doing checks. It's 12 steps in a turn. This is a big, sprawling game. It was never pared down. It was never made to be streamlined or easier to play. So it's going to take that zombie side and just bloat it out. And I love it for everything that this game is. Now, this game, I don't mean this as an insult, I mean this as a compliment. This reminds me of a 1980s game. If I had been designing a game in the 1980s, this is probably what I would have done. And I love this game for that. I do like the first movie quite a bit. I think it's a cult classic. I think it's fantastic. Kurt Russell is fantastic in it. And I like finally having a big game like this to play inside of this universe. The characters are here. The theme is here. The dice chucking is here. All the things that you're looking for in a Ameritrash game are right here. And this might be that game for this year, where it's just like, it's big. For some reason, people aren't talking about it. Like I said, it's not streamlined. It's not going to be the most interactive thing that you're going to have. It's going to be dudes on a map. You're going to be blasting your way through, running around, exciting, but you're going to be living in that universe. And I absolutely adore and love this for what it brings to the table. Absolute winner for me. This one will be a quick one for us. It's Marvel United Multiverse. If you're into Marvel United, probably you'll want the Multiverse stuff. I think this is the redheaded stepchild of the series that you're either into, kind of the alternate things that are going on, or you're ready just to bounce straight towards the DC stuff that's forthcoming. And I think that a lot of the good stuff has already been put out for Marvel Universe. Marvel United, and I think here you're getting more and more and more and more, and I'm here for it. So I really like this game. It's one of my favorite family games to play, if not my favorite family game. My family loves Marvel. We like this system quite a bit. So more and more and more and more, and all the different combinations. Because when we play the game, we'll play different. We just like kind of mix and matching everything, and the more to mix and match, grab this character, see what it does. That is the fun. If we had 10 characters, I'm not sure that we would love this game as much. It might get boring. Okay, I know what this character does really well. We like the sprawl of it. We like the variety of it. And it brings a lot of replayability to us. So the Multiverse, also, my daughter really likes the Multiverse. She's really into it. So these characters, a lot of them are more female-driven. She is enjoying those quite a bit. This is one I would definitely say, it's up here, it's up higher because the game system is so good versus this brings like a lot of characters that I'm familiar with or that we're familiar with necessarily. So this could have been 10 or 4. Might be a little bit of a cheat because here we are. It's not really an expansion. It's a sequel. It's a redone, which is one of the reasons why I kept Star Wars, the deck building Clone Wars off. So it's a little bit of cheap, but my family likes this so much. It's so much higher for us. So I definitely feel comfortable putting it here. What I can recommend, the system itself. But if you don't have any of it, start with some other things. Find out what characters you like the best. Mix and match, or just get it all, which is what I did. Walking Dead Surrounded is a really fun game. It's a button-shy game, 18 cards, has a little expansion I can add, I think up to 24 cards into it. And this is a really fun experience. I found myself taking a trip one time. I took this game with me, and I kept playing it and playing it and playing it. The Walking Dead is there. It's from the comics, not from the show, so you won't see the popular actors, but you'll see the black and white from that. And it works really great. The spatial, how you're flipping the cards, they're double-sided, how you use them and you turn them, etc. Everything works brilliantly. I feel like I'm in the Walking Dead. It's a little weird how we're competing to join. I think the storyline with it, but the gameplay is so much fun. And this is probably my favorite button-shy game. This is one of my favorite games of the year. And I would tell you to check this one out. This is probably one you slept on. Do not. It's well worth it. Check this one out. My number 2 game is probably my most played game of the year, which is Sonic Roll. This game can be a little bit of a mess, but I absolutely love and adore this game. I'll open up and tell you I usually play this game solo, but it really brings in the feel of Sonic. It's one of the most thematic, and there's been some Sonic games, I've reviewed them on my channel, and there's some that I like, some I don't like, some are for kids, some are a little bit more complicated. This one might be the Sonic game, especially the early Sonic stuff, if you're into those kind of things, as you're running through the board. And it feels like the video game on your board game table, and it works pretty well. I think I like this game better with smaller number of players, 2 or 1. I do play this game a lot, 1, and I would highly recommend it. This is one you probably slept on, I'm going to be honest with you. I haven't heard a lot of people talking about it. Maybe it's just the circles that I'm in. But this is a really, really fun game. It brings Sonic to your table. You're there. You're in the game. I don't want to oversell it. It can be a little fiddly, a little bit of a mess at times, but I really, really like the rules. Keep you in it. If it wasn't for that rule book, I think it would have lost me. Fantastic game. If you're in the solo game at all, this is one to check out. I find myself playing it quite a bit. There's a lot in that box, too. A lot in that box. I really do feel you get a good bang for your buck with this one. So Sonic Roll is probably my number 1, except for, I'll get to my number 1 in just a moment. My number one intellectual property game, which you probably can already guess from now, is Slay the Spire. My son loves Slay the Spire. And I played it, I got recommended to by a friend, and I told my son, hey, check this out, you might like it. And the kid loves it. He likes it. He likes to watch YouTube videos and see the different strategies on it. He's eagerly anticipating part 2 that's going to be coming out whenever. And so when Slay the Spire, I saw on Kickstarter, I was like, this is going to be great for him. So I ended up kickstarting it and giving it to him for his birthday, and I gave him the whole shebang. And the boy and I sat down and we played this game night after night after night after night. Dad, can we play again? Dad, can we play again? Dad, can we play again? And we played the heck out of this game. This is by far probably the most played game I've ever had in my life. Maybe even, we didn't play a lot of board games when I was a kid, but this is probably the most. We just played it over and over again. We did every achievement. We went through everything over, just like the video game. We went over and over. We had to get all the milestones, we got all the achievements. We made sure we did everything in this game and had a blast doing it. Now, he likes to take this game and sometimes play it solo and just go through it, etc. It's a lot for these kids nowadays. You know, they're more blasted on sports and video games and stuff. And for this game to be able to try, can I play? Yeah, go ahead. Play solo if you want. That's great. And I like seeing that experience as he goes through the cards. And he was quick on finding the combos. He kind of knew some of them from the video games, but it really poured it over well. The production is fantastic. Everything in this game is great. And this is number one intellectual property game of the year by far. I've had fun with Sonic Roll, but the experience of this game would trump that, and this is a great number one. Well, thanks. I hope you're enjoying the spectacular walking through the top 10 intellectual games of the year. Like I said in the beginning of the introduction, please comment if there's anything I missed, or if there's any intellectual property games that you like. Did I mess it up? Is there some reason why you think something should be higher? Please let me know. That general feedback is much appreciated, and I'll see you guys later.
Hey folks, thanks for watching another one of our videos. If you like our videos, if you like our channel, you would love to game with us at one of our conventions. Check out Dice Tower Cruise, Dice Tower East, and Dice Tower West. Fantastic conventions where we play games with wonderful people, a humongous library, and lots of other events and stuff. Also, don't forget to check out our channel, like and subscribe. I'm Tom Bassel.